Thank you, everyone, for staying with us on the program. So, the situation relating to the reported death of some Shiite members and the involvement of security operatives, and especially when elections are around the corner, gets our attention tonight on the program. So we're talking to a legal practitioner, a senior advocate of Nigeria, Mr. Dele Adeshina, on also Brigadier General John Agim is a director of information at the headquarters in Abuja, and also Group Captain Felix Ihanacho, an intelligent security expert. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for talking to us on the program. So quickly, if I show you this, there's a timeline of Ezazaki's stay and relationship with the security operatives and his arrest. If you look at it, he's been arrested since 2015. December of 2015, he was arrested. The alleged clash was on the 12th with the convoy of Chief of Army Staff, and in December 2009, he was also imprisoned. And December 2, 2016, Federal Court ordered his release. And May 15, 2018, appeared before the Cardinal High Court. He's still in custody. A lot of issues as regarding the court asking him to go home and him not being granted that opportunity to do so. Those get our attention tonight on the program. So let me quickly come back to you, Group Captain Ihanacho. The question of how to handle this sensitive matter, especially the history of the army with the group, the Shiites group. Is there a better way that the military or the security agencies would have handled this?
Yes, like I'm saying, Sean, the military naturally have to play its role. But I'm just saying it is not just the military alone. And therefore, we need, as I'm talking about, reviewing our security architecture in its entirety.
It's poor right now, the way
well,
it is?
It's not an issue of being poor. What I'm saying that, you see, like if you are in an organization, you have specific tasks, and then you are given additional tasks. Therefore, you don't need to be told that there is need for you to restructure the way and manner you do things and your organogram in-house in order to cope with these additional responsibilities. Okay. So now, Nigeria, we are facing challenges, different forms, emerging asymmetric threats coming from various, you have the headsmen, you have the religious issues like El Zakzaki, you have things, problems in Kaduna, you have Boko Haram, then you have agitators, you have militancy and all that. These are emerging threats. Okay. And therefore, we need to have an architecture that will cope and, an architecture of containment for this emergence.
Let me quickly, before I allow Brigadier General Agim to go, the big question on the minds of a lot of people is that the military has a history with this group, the El Zazaki supporters and the Shiite group. Perhaps, is there a lesson that has been learned from the military point of view and the mistakes that have been made in this scenario?
Well, let us situate what actually happened. The incident on Sunday along Suleja Road, we were having soldiers that were on transit, and they met this group on the way, and they refused to allow the military access. Rather, they tried to obstruct them and seize the vehicle that carry weapons, carry arms and ammunition that they were carrying to go and supply. That is what happened on Sunday. Now, yesterday, anybody who knows Abuja, there is a checkpoint. There is a checkpoint before you get into Abuja from Maraba, Nyanya, Axis. And that checkpoint has been there before now. So the military is a military checkpoint. And now these people came in to that checkpoint. They wanted to overrun the checkpoint. Now, it is not as if they...
I guess we lost him there. The question some people will be asking, I guess we'll connect with the Senior Advocate of Nigeria to give us some legal perspective to all of these issues. Group Captain, the question on the minds of some people will be that what happened with Muhammad Yusuf, which led to the spark in the activities of Boko Haram terrorist group, and what is happening with this Shiite group now? Is it a big lesson for the security operatives who have learned from?
Yes, indeed. It is a big lesson for security operatives to learn from. Because if we...
All right, so just a moment. I understand that we have Mr. Additional. Thank you so much, Mr. Dele Additional, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, for joining us on the program. There are several issues, legal ones. If you could give us perspective of what is happening in the perspective of the rule of law within the military, the security operatives, and the Shiites group, what are your thoughts on this one?
I believe that the situation needs to be handled more carefully and proactively, like the first speaker has said. In a democracy, rule of law is uncompromisable. The rule of law is the cardinal point in a democracy. In fact, without rule of law, there is no democracy. Without democracy, there is no rule of law. And what are the components, what are the contents of rule of law? The fundamental contents of rule of law include freedom of movement, freedom of assembly, freedom of expression, freedom to personal liberty of individuals. The circumstances under which you can curtail these freedoms are very, very limited in a democracy. I agree with the gentleman at the studio that there's a need to overhaul our security system. The soldiers are not usually found on the streets. They are not the policemen. The policemen, it is their duty to enforce law and order in a civil manner. The military is not trained to maintain law and order. In fact, they are trained to kill, and that is why you don't see them on the street.
If you Mr. Additional, because of our time, if you can just hit the nail on the head on the situation of the El Zazaki and his continued detention and what is happening on the street. The military says they were obstructing, they attacked, and they stopped them. Could there be any better way of handling this?
There is a better way. If they were obstructed, they should have called in the police. They can even effect arrest and then thereafter hand them over to the police for necessary, charging them to court and prosecuting them. The response shouldn't be firing an armless and defenseless individuals. And as for the incarceration of the Al-Sakisaki, there is no other way of saying it than unless there is an order of court varying the lower court's order to bail, the continued detention is illegal.
All right. We are definitely out of time. Group Captain, in 20 seconds, your final words.
Well, my final words is simply that
all right.
There is the need for us to have an architecture
all right.
that will contain all these emerging threats in such a manner that it will become preemptive and proactive.
All right. We're definitely out of time. Thank you so much, Group Captain Felix Iheanacho, and also Mr. Dele Additional, Senior Advocate of Nigeria. Earlier on, we spoke to Brigadier General John Agim. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching. That's our show for today. I'm Shion Kimale. Bye-bye.